Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and Wendy Williams is finally speaking on camera, video this time, and she's seeking revenge. She's naming names of the people who have been stealing from her, including Wells Fargo, her old financial manager who works for Wells Fargo now, as well as her ex-manager. This is a scorching video, and our first look at her actually really speaking. And before we even play it, it's important to remind you guys that people were very suspicious as to whether that video on the beach was in fact her. Well, sure seems like it was, because this post is coming from that same account. And now she's posting this directly regarding the events of today. Hard to imagine this isn't her actual account now. It's got the blue check mark and everything. So anybody who was in doubt last time, we were correct in reporting that. That was her on the beach. Here she is now this morning, scorching earth, naming names. Let's hear what she has to say.
My thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response.
Now, I'm going to pause to tell you who Lori Schiller is. Lori Schiller, here's her info. This is public information on the Wells Fargo page for financial advisors. She's a financial advisor for Wells Fargo. Thanks to BJ, that surprise witness. Always support her if you can. She used to work for Wendy, but Wendy fired her. Lori and Wells Fargo have decided that Wendy shouldn't be allowed to have her money, all of her rights and property. Here's Lori Schiller. We Googled around. Let's check out her, right? There she is. Good for you, Lori. Lori is the one who was fired by Wendy, now a financial manager at Wells Fargo, and is the one who rung the alarm bell that Wendy has some sort of issues. That doesn't seem like there's some sort of maybe conflict of interest there. Disgruntled employee.
I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. This is not right. And you know this is not fair. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. Bernie Young, you're no good. And this is not fair at all, you know? And then there's this person, a former doctor, okay, had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. So I haven't gotten the stuff. I fired the doctor. And again, all I want to know is, where is my money? This is not right. And certainly, this is not fair. This is not fair. You know, Wells Fargo has used all this stuff to create the guardianship over me. This is not right. And certainly this is not fair. The New York court system is, without evidence, they're being weird to me, this court system. Without evidence, they took all this information and continued with what's going on with me based on what Wells Fargo is doing. This is not fair. This is not fair, you know? And the New York court is treating me like they did in, do you remember Kung Fu judge case? Do you remember that Kung Fu judge case? That's not right, and that is not fair. Lori Schiller Bernie Young and Wells Fargo, please let me have access to my money. This is not right. And again, this is not fair. Have a pleasant day. Thank you.
So, look, who's Bernie Young? So I want to break down some of this stuff that she's talking about here. So she fired Bernie, the management from her whole management team at the time. Her management team only speaking to her son and ex-husband Kevin Hunter, but longtime manager Bernie Young was fired, and her recent crisis manager Howard Bragman, all of them fired as Sherry Shepard took over. Bernie and Howard are out. They don't even have a way to get in contact with her. No one has no way to get in contact with Wendy. She doesn't even have her own phone anymore. So all this sort of came about. Meanwhile, what's so crazy about this is Bernie, the ex-manager who was fired. This is from literally last night, like hours before Wendy posted that. I think probably triggered this. Bernie Young's filing to be her legal guardian as she suffers major health problems. This man's trying to get in and take over her life. Now, look, I don't know what's going on with Wendy. I'm watching that clip. She seems fine. She's a little repetitive, but she's under distress. It seems fine to me. Seems of sound mind to me. And even if she's not, which I don't even know if she is, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, her kid gets to have the say over some weird random manager that she just fired. It is what it is. Whether now some of these conservatorships, sometimes it's like, oh, the kid's using whatever. Dude, she fired you. You're out. It's up to the kid now. And let her have her money. Let her family decide what happens here. That's what I'm of the mind of. It's shocking to see that Wells Fargo is letting these individuals, this Bernie Young who's been fired, this Lori Schiller who works for Wells Fargo, all of this stuff is just like, how do they have her best interest? How do they have her best interest? And what's frustrating is, like, in all these cases, even if she is somewhat loopy, even if she's somewhat out of it, it's her issue. Like, she's going to then waste her money. It is what it is. Let her family deal with it. Let her deal with it. You don't get to come in and say it. When you have these outsiders who are disgruntled ex-employees that somehow then get jobs at Wells Fargo who then can control her money, I'm sorry, that's when stuff's getting bonkers and really, really scary. God, we're so tied to these financial organizations. You can't just, you might even have Wells Fargo and you can't just dump it. You might have some sort of mortgage or house thing or whatever you're dealing with, right? We can't just always just run and just switch out our payment because we don't like Wells Fargo or whoever we're banking with. They control so much of this. They control the money. They control all of us. And so to see it happening here live and to see Wells Fargo, who I think looks just awful right now, I can't even fathom the fact that they're doing this. Now, legally, from what I've gathered, and I'm no lawyer, again, take all this with a grain of salt, but from what I've gathered, it's in the fine print. They're allowed to do what they're doing because it's in the fine print of the contract. And that's how they're getting away with it currently. Because in all of our contracts, whether it's an iPhone or a bank account, you never read all the fine print. And inside all that fine print is a lot of language that protects them and allows them to do things like this when they need to. Now, they may be trying to act in their originally may have been acting in the best interest of Wendy and thought something was up, had some sort of medical records, but then not realize that a lot of that was not on the up and up. And now the issue is there's such a big spotlight on this that I can't imagine that Wells Fargo isn't trying to justify their actions to make it seem like they aren't the type of company that just rushes to close bank accounts down when someone complains. Because, I don't know, that doesn't seem like very good press for Wells Fargo. It seems like they're looking out for the client, but if Wendy Williams is in fact of sane mind and okay, and you just blocked her bank account, whoo, that makes me want to dip out of Wells Fargo immediately. Based on what? Based on what? She's even saying the doctor that she didn't even get the documentation from the doctor. The doctor went to Lori Schiller, who was fired, takes it to Wells Fargo. This is disgusting. This is terrifying. So yeah, I don't understand how we're still here. To be perfectly honest, I don't understand how they aren't just giving her money. It's shocking to me. I know a lot of people aren't fans of Wendy Williams. Some saying, oh, well, he has karma for everything you've done, making fun of people and being so harsh to people. I don't understand how you can have that mind and think that way. Well, what's happening to her here is just not okay. whatever her mental state is, and watching this, it sure seems like she's able to be coherent and put together her thoughts to go back, pull things. She's clearly there. And at that point, there's enough for me to witness this to say, yeah, let her have her money. Let her and her son and her, whatever, her family have the rights. And if she wants to spend it all or waste it all, that's on her. This is so crazy about these conservatorships, guardianships, etc. If people want to screw up and do drugs or whatever they're going to do and just piddle away their money, that's their choice. That's their choice. That's their right. Let her have her money. Show her the money. We got your back, Wendy. I wanted to make sure we signal boost this because what's happening here is terrifying. I guess you can reach out to her. I'm not expecting you to don't do anything crazy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going to give a call. There is a number here. We can attempt to reach out. Lori, what's going on here? What is going on here? This doesn't seem right. Here's Lori Schiller. Lori, what's happening, man? We're concerned for her. She's concerned. Why isn't Wendy getting access to her money? Why do you have more say over her finances than her and her own family? I don't understand it. And as Wendy said, now you're silent about it? Something's screwy here and something needs to be called out because what you're doing here, from what we're gathering, isn't right. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Make sure you, in the meanwhile, though, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave your thoughts on this issue down below in a comment. Appreciate all you guys. We'll be back later with more content here on Popcorn Planet, the place for pop culture justice.